Today, I'm going to be talking about my life with muscular dystrophy in 5th grade. And I'm wearing this because this is what I wear most of the day when I'm working or doing things because I can talk better. Today, we'll talk about what you can do to help anyone start making positive changes in their life. If you recall, 4th grade was a difficult year for me because that was when I started using a wheelchair. And I had a very bad anger problem. It was very difficult to control because of all the things I was going through. When I was getting ready to go to 5th grade and met my teacher, he told us that we got a clean slate in his classroom, that he didn't go by what previous teachers had said, which gave me all kinds of hope. And then 5th grade started. There were some events before 5th grade that helped me that I will cover in the next video. My teacher, Mr. Rasmussen, had polio as a young boy, so he knew something about challenges and disability. And he was well equipped, aside from that, because he was a great teacher. He did some things for me that I've taken throughout my life, and though he is a very humble man and gives credit to others, he is where it started. He didn't just let me do whatever, but he also didn't jump right on me the minute I did something wrong or bad. He was patient, but most of all, he was strict and followed through with what he said. It was more than just him that was trying to help me. There were others too. For instance, the special education teacher, Mr. McDevitt, came in and asked if I would help in the class with other students. Because what better way to help you get over your problem than doing service to somebody else? And the experiences I had working with these special education students and helping others is something I've carried throughout my life and into all my studies. I was given permission to leave, I think it was my history class, to go in and help in his class. And Mr. Rasmussen told me I could do it until my grade started slipping. I had to agree that if my grade started falling, that I would quit going to help. I got to do this for about a semester, and my grade started slipping. Mr. Rasmussen talked to me about it and reminded me of our agreement. I didn't want to quit, but I had made an agreement. But he gave me a chance to try to bring my grade up. I didn't get it up, and because of the agreement I had made, I accepted it, and I didn't get angry about it because I had been dealt with justly and had made that agreement. He was a great example of how a teacher can impact somebody for the rest of their life. I may have been 11 years old, but those times in 5th grade helped to shape my life to what it is today. It's thanks to his class that I gained a joy for reading. He had this program set up where I don't know if it was every 9 weeks or every so often, if we read a certain amount of books, we got to go and have a pizza party. I got to go to that pizza party every time. There were certain books in the library that had a little sticker on them, and if you read that book, he would give you a test, and you could do a book report on it, on this test, and if you passed, you got credit for reading that book. I went through the library, and of course, I usually would go and get the thinnest book so I could get those numbers up, but I read many, many books. And by the end of the class, I had read more books than anyone else. Incidentally, that was when I learned that the movie and the book are very different. I learned that with Treasure Island, because I failed it when I did it by the movie, but I passed when I did it by the book. He made sure that I was able to participate in events, and again, I'm sure other people were involved with ensuring that too. One time when they were going to the planetarium at the University of Arizona, there were some people that thought it would be too hard to get me on a bus and take me over there. Well, that was when my mother stepped in. She had realized that from 4th grade that sometimes you have to step in. She was, let's say she was old school. She went in and said that if I can't go, nobody should be able to go. And that made sure that I was able to go. They made arrangements. Mr. Rasmussen was always very supportive of me. His class was the first time that I ever got a B average. I only did it once in his class, but I made it. Before, I'd usually been worried about getting satisfactories on my citizenship things, which incidentally, I got all satisfactories. So I was really coming along and improving. Again, I live in a small town, so when I see Mr. Rasmussen, we've always thanked him for what he did for me. And to this day, he's one of my favorite teachers of all time. And somebody that has inspired and influenced me to do many things. But he always gave credit to my 6th grade teachers, who, as you will find out, also went above and beyond and really enhanced my life. But Mr. Rasmussen started it all. But what I want to show you most from this video is how getting outside myself and helping others helped me to start changing. If you or somebody you know are having problems, my advice is to go out and find somebody to help, especially around this Christmas season. Doesn't matter what you're going through, if you help others, you're likely to forget what you're going through and start focusing on them. This will make you feel positive. One thing I might add too that I should have added earlier was I was in the school choir, which is something I really enjoyed. I could hit very low notes, but I didn't know what note I was hitting. And many years later, I realized that was why they asked me to play the ukulele, so I wouldn't sing. Thank you for your time. These are just some 5th grade memories. I'll be back very soon.